The hum of the central air conditioning was the only thing filling the silence of our four-bedroom suburban home in Oak Creek. It's that specific kind of quiet that feels heavy, like the house itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to shatter the peace. I was sitting at the kitchen island, staring at a glass of Chardonnay that I hadn't touched in 20 minutes. Outside, the sun was beginning to dip behind the manicured tray line of the cul-de-sac, casting long amber shadows across the hardwood floors. It was a beautiful house, the kind of house you see in a real estate magazine and think, people who live there must have it all figured out. But as I sat there, I felt like a ghost haunting my own life. I'm 34, and for the last 5 years, I've been Mrs. David Harrison. David is a good man, stable, successful, a partner at a mid-sized architectural firm in the city. He's the kind of guy who remembers to get the oil changed in my SUV before I even notice the light is on. He's kind, he's provider-oriented, and if I'm being brutally honest with myself, he's become more of a roommate than a lover. The passion didn't die with a bang. It just sort of eroded over time, replaced by discussions about property taxes, the guest list for the neighborhood barbecue, and whose turn it was to take the trash to the curb. Then there's Leo. Leo is David's son from his first marriage. He's 19 now, a sophomore at the state university, and he'd been back home for the summer for about 3 weeks. When I first married David, Leo was a lanky 14-year-old with braces and a shy disposition. I liked him instantly. We had this easy older sister, younger brother vibe. I was the cool stepmom who didn't nag him about his grades and would occasionally slip him $20 when David was being too strict. But somewhere in the last year or two, the boy I knew had vanished. The Leo who came home this summer was different. He'd filled out, his shoulders were broad, his jawline had sharpened into something striking, and he carried himself with a sort of restless, brooding energy that made the air in the room feel charged whenever he walked in. He was quiet, but it wasn't the shy quiet of his early teens. It was a guarded, observant silence. He spent most of his time in his room upstairs or at the gym, and when we did interact, there was a new, uncomfortable tension that I couldn't quite put my finger on. David was away for the week on a business trip in Chicago. He'd left on Monday, and by Thursday, the isolation of the house was starting to get to me. I'd spent the day running errands and trying to ignore the gnawing sense of boredom that comes with a life that is too comfortable and too predictable.
I had cooked a dinner that neither of us really ate together. Leo had taken a plate up to his room, citing a heavy study load for an online summer course, and I'd eaten mine while scrolling through social media, looking at lives that seemed much more vibrant than my own. Around 8:30 p.m., I decided I needed to get some laundry done. I gathered a basket of whites and headed upstairs. As I passed Leo's door, I noticed it was cracked open just an inch. Usually it was shut tight, a keep out sign without the actual words.